Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England. I'm here to do an update on By Hook or By Crook, which is my challenge, as it were, to everyone, to do with my interest in detective stories, crime novels, such like. So my latest one, which has been running since the beginning of April, is Vera, which is, the books were written by Anne Cleeves, and I picked The Crow Trap as a book for us to study, which is the first one in the Vera series. Now, it's also a popular television drama serial on definitely on UK screens, and with Vera being played by Brenda Blethyn. Now, they have done an episode of The Crow Trap, but it didn't come first in the series, it came later on. Now, the challenge that I set was really, you can either do it in association to the book, or you can do it in association with the TV series. Now, having read it, well, I say read it, I'm about halfway through the book. Now, there are a lot of similarities to the show, but Vera does come across as a bit more brazen than she is actually in the show. Now, but you can see it's her. Now, the style of dress worn by Brenda Blethyn in the series seems different to what's in the book. So I have done Vera, but I've done her with Brenda Blethyn's character in mind rather than what's in the book. The story of The Crow Trap sort of starts with, I've made a couple of notes. It starts revolving around three women, Rachel, Anne and Grace, who come together in a cottage, Baker's Cottage, which is next to or on the farm, Blacklaw Farm. And it's somewhere Rachel is familiar with. She's friends with the woman who resides at Blacklaw Farm with her husband Dougie, who is disabled. Now, these three have come together to do an environmental study in order, well, because an extension or development of the quarry has been proposed. So they need to check if there's anything of environmental interest that will interfere with. There seems to be a history with the person who owns the environmental agency or whatever it is, that employs these three women to do the survey. Rachel had a relationship with the guy who owns it, Peter, and he's also mentioned in relation to Anne and Grace as well. Now, when Rachel arrives at the cottage, she's the first to arrive when they're coming together to do this survey and live together at this cottage, Baker's Cottage. She finds Bella, who has appeared to have hung herself in the barn. At this stage in the book I'm at now, they still are thinking it's suicide. I don't think it will be, because obviously I think it'll be a bit like the TV show, and it wasn't death by hanging in the TV show either. But I think that, it's going to become a murder, is that. Mainly because since then another has been killed, and that is definitely murder. I'm not telling you which one, just in case you're still on with the book. But yeah, there's and the characters are a little different because they're in different situations in the TV series, but as far as the book goes, the three of them are together in this cottage. Anyway, so that's where I'm at the moment. Vera's come in, Vera Stanhope, the DCI. Is it DCI? I think she is DCI. And she's come in and she's now investigating the death of Grace. But as mentioned, Bella, who was found hung, but like I say, at this stage, we don't think she thinks that there was any malice in it, but, Vera's Vera, so she probably does. also I've noticed in the book a slight difference is that in the TV series, which I mentioned on my last one when I introduced the book, Vera had gone back to live in her father's cottage after he died. Well, according to the book, if I'm getting it right, she never actually left it. You know, she's lived with him right until his death. There are lots of similarities though, and like I say, I'm quite happy for you to do an item to do with anything to do with Vera Stanhope, you know, so, you know, whatever you want to do. I think I've had 5 entries, it's 4 or 5 I've had. The closing date is the 30th of June. I need you to submit your entry to me by the end of that day, UK time, by 12 midnight UK time, by email. My email's in the bottom. It's usually in the bottom of the video I do, and it's also on my channel, you know, profile page. If I don't respond to you, you must take it that I haven't received your email, so you need to get in touch again. I will acknowledge receipt of your entry if I get it. As I've said before, there's a £15 prize on Etsy or Amazon, or like I said, if it turns out Etsy's up to the value of their lowest priced gift card again, then it will just be Amazon. So that's just to bear in mind. I think that's it for the entry requirements. As I've said before, this has nothing to do with YouTube, it's got nothing to do with Ann Cleves, it's got nothing to do with TV, it's me just doing a challenge by hook or by crook. The reason why I'm showing, or I've been showing what I've done, is because we're actually away next week. We're taking Brian on holiday, so I doubt that I will have much time to myself to be able to catch up with these things. Because Brian is obviously very high maintenance. So I envisage not having a lot of free time on this holiday. I also envisage when we get back I will need a considerable amount of rest. Just guessing, but I'm sure I will. So that's why I'm showing what I've made now, because I know that I wouldn't probably have time to do this full video next week. If I do film while I'm away, it's because I need some time away on my own, in which case I will leave Brian with Nick, because he can test the patience of a saint, can Brian, so I may need some time away, in which case I have got options to go where we're staying. I've got options to go sit outside if it's nice, or to go sit down in the bar area for a coffee and take my crochet just for a bit of quiet time. If I get that sort of quiet time, I may do a video. I will do video clips of us having the holiday, which I'll probably put together when I come back home. But yeah, at the moment, I don't envisage having a lot of time to do with the channel. But I will be back in time for the closing date. So I'm now going to show you my Vera. So I obviously decided to do the main character Vera, and it's based on the one on TV, and it's based on the one as is clothed by Brenda Berthin herself. So that is my Vera. I'm really pleased with that. I just love this pattern. I got the pattern, if you remember, I changed the pattern that I had for the Swagman in the Australia leaflet that I got from Simply Crochet quite some time ago. Never even thought of it being possibly a Vera. When I started doing this challenge, I don't know whether I sorted through my magazines or what, I don't know. I had this put to one side because I always intended to make these items in this leaflet. So, and I just thought that'd make a perfect Vera with a couple of minor alterations. So that's what I've done. Now I have made certain changes which I'm going to explain now. Right, obviously I haven't put a cape on the coat because Vera just wears a raincoat. Additionally, I've put a nose on, which I've just done by putting her through threads of the same coloured cotton through the face. I've used a grey eye. I don't know what colour eyes are. I haven't got the inclination to check that out, but I have put grey eyes on because I just thought they were more human than using black eyes. I've made other changes. I'm going to go through the list of what I've done. I face the feet forward, so on the Swagman, the feet are supposed to be pointed inwards, which is very cute, but that's not how Vera stands, so I face them forward. So I just had to, you know, go around a bit further, so the front of the feet pointed forwards instead of inwards. The jacket I made, let me just see, the neck, it's supposed to have loops. Which one was it now? It was supposed to have back loops only, but I realised that wouldn't help the collar turn down, so I did the back loop, so the front loops instead, and that's helped give it a proper collar shape on the collar. Like I said, I didn't put the cape on it. What else did I do with it? Oh, the arms were supposed to be done in single crochets or double crochets in the UK, which the pattern is actually in UK terms, so I'm now going to use UK terms only. So I did, the body of the jacket was done in half treble crochets, so I continued that on with the sleeves because they looked like they were going to be too stiff and the arms would stand out too much. So to give it a softer feel, I continued the sleeve in half treble crochets. I put buttons on, which the Swagman's jacket doesn't have buttons on, but I put buttons on and I did a loop to go around those buttons. They're oversized buttons, but they were closest thing I had to anything that would go on a jacket like this or a coat like this, and you know, I didn't want to be ordering any more at this late stage, so that's what I've done with that. I think that's it as far as the jacket is covered, so I'm just going to take off the jacket and I can show you the rest of it and what changes I made on that. There is actually a pattern for Vera, by the way, but I chose to adapt one of my own because, you know, like it's one of the things you challenge yourself with. So we have the jumper, cardigan or blouse, whatever you call it, I chose to do in a dual toned cotton so that it looked like a patterned one. So I did the waist, instead of doing back loops only, where you would have gone round and made it look like a jumper on the Swagman, so on that bit there, I instead did do you know, back loops only, but in order to put an extra bit on instead of just going round in either a slip stitch or single crochets, I put half treble crochets around in order, bit of a bad join at the back, but I mean it don't matter, does that, I never mind about my joins showing. So I did that, and I also put the tiny flower buttons on, which were so fiddly to put on. These are the smallest buttons I've ever used. They came in the pack with the bigger ones that I've used before, and it's to give it the illusion of, like I say, being a cardigan or a blouse. Now I also, what else did I do with that? I don't think I made any more changes to the top actually. No, I didn't. Like I say, I faced the feet forward. I wish I'd have made the feet smaller actually, but it's a cute item, you know. I mean, I don't think Vera would mind. I put the hair. Now the hair looks like a car crash, but if you look at the pictures of Vera as Blender Bevan is, you know, she just has like bits of wispy down, so I just did a little bit of embroidered wispiness, but if you take the hat off, I mean, it's a car crash. But I couldn't see the point of putting a full air cap on just to do wispy bits, and it would have made the head so much heavier, you know, so I prefer it like this. So you just see the wispy bits coming down, just gives the illusion of air underneath. What else did I do? I don't think... No, that's it really. The hat, I went with it until we got to where you went in the back loops only to get a brim, but then I shortened what you did, and I I think I increased it a bit more as well, because the one on the pattern curls and goes in a bit, and I wanted mine to look like the bucket hat that she wears on the series, so I just winged that, really, just winged it to make it look a bit better. The scarf, she always seems to wear a very thin scarf, you know, wrapped around her neck, so I used the famous Japanese sock yarn, and I did her a scarf that would wrap round and just hang down. So I think she looks absolutely fine, you know. I'm going to put her jacket back on, because I'll dress her as she would normally be dressed in the show. So she usually walks around with her coat undone. If I can get the arm back in. It's not actually that difficult, it's just while you're on screen. Yeah, so, but yeah, it is curling on one side is the jacket, but unfortunately that's the way it is. But it doesn't matter, because she's supposed to be quite scruffy to look at anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yes, this is how she'd walk around most of the time anyway. So yeah, with it undone, with the scarf showing, blouse, trousers or skirt. I did think about a skirt actually, but I thought I'd already contemplated making a few changes, so I thought I'd leave it as trousers. So that's nice. I'll tell you what I used for it. I've got all my yarns here. So for the boots, I used the Signet 100% cotton DK in the colour Honey Brown, which I've got to bring a full ball in, because I'm using what's left of the other ball to make my next project that I'm doing at the moment, which I'm hoping will be finished for the weekend. The trousers, I used the Serda 100% cotton DK double knitting, and it's oh, do you know, I haven't brought the shades. It's a navy blue anyway, but I will tell you, this was a discontinued, I think it might have been called Nautical or something like that. It's a discontinued one anyway, so because I think full price it's about £6 a ball is this one. It's very good cotton, very, very good cotton. They still have some colours left, but it's vastly reduced. Then we have the top is in, now I bought this especially to do this top, and it's a beautiful cotton. I absolutely love this. This is a Rikarumi Spray DK 100% cotton, and the colour, if you can see that on the label, Rikarumi, and the colour is just blue. But like I say, it's spray, so it looks like it's just all little difficulty colour changes. Very nice is that. Only comes in these little 25g balls, but I really didn't need much of it to do that top. Then for the jacket, the coat, I used another of the discontinued Serdar cotton DKs, which is in truffle. I do remember this colour, it's truffle. And again, Serdar cotton DK. They really are very beautiful cottons, these. I do hope they put some more colours back on, actually. I hope they're not discontinuing it full stop. The hat I did in a James C. Brett 100% pure cotton DK, which is in the colour Sage. She does wear a green hat. I found it hard with 3 browns, you know, to try and make sure they look different enough. I didn't really succeed with the hair, because the only other brown I had was Cookie, which is the Serdar Happy Cotton one, and it's Cookie. And like I say, but it is slightly different to those two, but I'm sure when looking at them on, you know, it's hard to distinguish. But anyway, I did try. My next one was, I used, oh yes, that's right, for the flesh tones I used Rico Creative Cotton DK. It's one of those skin tones I bought to try. It does work as a skin tone actually, but I find it's very soft, but it's a funny, you know, it's got a funny, look to it. It's not as smooth as I really like, but it does work as a skin tone, and it's perfectly fine. Now that is, like I say, Rico Creative Cotton DK, and does it have a colour? Oh, do you know, I haven't brought it. It's something like powder, but there's only a couple that's you know, a skin tone, so it's one of those. And then for, what's that one for? Have a look. Oh, that was the honey brown that I've shown you there. That's my other ball that I've got in the room. And then for the scarf, which is, like I say, it's the famous Japanese sock yarn, stretch yarn, which I got from Good Vibes Yarns. If you want any and you're in the UK, give her an email. She's called Sarah with 2 A's, S-A-A-R-A. I don't think she has it listed on her website, but I've ordered it the last couple of times, which is going back a while now, but I've ordered it the last couple of times by just telling her what I want. I think, if I remember, it comes in something like 100 gram and 30 gram balls, but don't quote me on that. It's something like that. She'd tell you if you wanted it. And that is, like I say, it's everything apart from the stretch yarn is in Japanese, and it may not even be the correct ball band for this, because she gets a lot that, you know, would be thrown away, so she just tends to put a ball band on, you know, to keep it from dropping apart, basically. So that is my Vera. I think the eyes were something like a 7.5mm, but I can't remember properly. But yeah, so there you go. That's my Vera. Like I say, it's showing you it today because I won't have time to do the full video, I don't think, when I get back. I'll only be able to do the results thing. So yeah, so I hope there's some more of you going to join in. Like I say, the rules are there. By the 30th, by midnight UK time, email me, make sure you get a reply, and then I'll be on, hopefully on the 1st of July, to tell you who's won. Anyway, take care of yourself. I'll see you.